welcome to Talkin Dribble. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. I'm Ben.
I'm Jacob.
To our Dribbler family, you know the drill. 5% sport, 5% analytics, 90% dribble. And to the new listeners, welcome. Happy to have you. Appreciate you stopping by.
New Talkin Dribble episodes drop every Monday and Wednesday on Spotify and YouTube. So if you enjoy our content, head over to those platforms to keep us up to date. Chuck us a follow, give us a rating and review. Helps us keep growing.
Also, if you prefer your dribble in shorter bursts, we post clips every day on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, so hit that follow button if you like what you hear. And if you love your movies, TV, and pop culture, make sure to check out our other show, Beyond the Dribble, with new episodes dropping every Friday on all the same platforms.
All right, let's talk some dribble.
So today we're covering, obviously it's playoff time. We love it. Great time of the year.
That's right.
I'm covering my Super Bowl bubble. So Benny's Super Bowl bubble is back. Just playoff teams, obviously, because they're the only ones who can actually win the Super Bowl.
You'd hope so.
We're going to preview and predict each playoff game.
Yes, sir.
We're going to showcase our playoff brackets. We've got a little King of the Hill playoff QB/coach edition. Oh, yeah. And Jake has got the 8 most disappointing teams from this season. So obviously teams who haven't made the playoffs, who underperformed. And so that's going to be a very intriguing list. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to talk coach firings and potential hirings. And obviously the fallout from week 18, the teams who did make it, the teams who did make it, just some general chit chat to kick us off. And that's where we're going to get into right now.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. So much from week 18. I think we got to start with that. Ravens v Steelers, last game of the regular season, and rookie kicker Tyler Loop misses a field goal to eliminate the Ravens and send the Steelers into the playoffs. God, you feel for him. You feel for him.
You just want to give that bloke a hug. He's getting some crazy threats on social media and stuff. We just feel for the guy. Guys, it's just sport. I know we love it, but it's just sport. Let's not get freaking aggressive out here. Poor guy was pretty... I think it was a 44-yarder. You got to slot that. Yeah, but rookie kicker makes it difficult. But hey, that's what happens. Like, obviously, this is the stuff you lean on. But Ravens, like, you probably shouldn't have been in this position in the first place.
Yep.
You guys are in a division that you should have wrapped up quite a while ago. And incompetent coaching, incompetent play, bad defense for majority of the year. You put yourself in this position, and that's when stuff like this can happen. So the Steelers have taken your playoff spot. So
I know.
That's on you guys.
I really thought we were going to see Lamar Jackson in playoff appearance again, and Lamar in the playoffs without Mahomes. Anything can happen, but it really hasn't been the season for the Ravens. Like, it's been just so much has gone wrong. Lamar's been in and out, and it would have been a miracle if they did make the playoffs. But yeah, it was almost like neither team wanted it. But then they had these miracle drives to give themselves a chance. And Aaron Rodgers with that crazy drive to get the Steelers up, and it's a cool story. Who would have thought 100%. out of that division that the Steelers would be the one to come out of the and win the division and get a home final.
And it's good because it was looking rocky halfway through the year. They had a really good start. Then it really started to mellow out as the Ravens started to pick it up. And I thought they were cooked. I literally thought they were dead in the water. I thought the Bengals may have caught them as well at that point. But hey, they stood by, got some massive wins in the end, and hey, earned themselves a playoff spot. Who would have thought we'd be going into these playoffs with no Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow? So it's just Josh Allen out of that core of quarterbacks running around. So hey, this is his year to get it done. But
yeah, it is
just crazy stuff. I think what else is crazy is like this year we're seeing a team host a playoff game with a negative record.
Yeah.
A sub 500 record. What's this about?
The Panthers 8-9. They lose the last game. It was almost like a play-in game. They lose it to the Bucks, but because the Falcons beat the Saints, it's a 3-way tie. Panthers win that, and all of a sudden they're fourth. They're hosting a playoff game against the Rams, who finished 12-5. That makes sense.
It's actually a joke. I seriously think there has to be a rule in place that if you finish with a sub 500 record, you don't have a winning record on the year, there is no way you can host a final.
Yep.
Look, I'm fine with... I wouldn't even mind the case of, say, they keep the 4 spot, so they clinch their division, but whoever they're versing at that 5 spot, it's actually their home... It's actually their home playoff game.
Honestly, I think if you don't finish above 500, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So I love the way they do divisions. I wish the NBA did something like that.
Yeah.
So if you win your division, you get a top 4 spot. That makes sense. You get a home final. But I think there should be a rule. If you don't finish above 500, and then therefore if you don't have a record that qualifies for playoffs, I think you shouldn't make it. Honestly, I think they wouldn't have made it if Detroit had a better record than them.
Yep.
Cowboys? No, because we lost our last game.
It actually turned out that a lot of teams didn't have a terrible record. A great record. I think the Vikings What the Vikings get? Vikings got 9-8. So Vikings had a better record.
So
obviously,
two teams
Detroit had a better record. Yeah,
obviously not by much, but like Detroit and Vikings, they're a better team than the
100%.
Panthers. So I think if you win your division and you have a record above 500, you're into the playoffs. You get that a top 4 seed, get a home final. But
100%.
if you have a record below 500, like what's happened, I think it's just okay. It's up for if you make the playoffs with that record. Fine,
hats off.
But it just falls to the next team. So
100%.
I think the Rams should have a playoff.
Yeah, for sure. They were like a slither away from being the 1 seed, and now they've found themselves. But hey, the 5 spot's probably the place to be. Get Panthers first round, you'd be loving that.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I think, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like it. No, you've got a losing record. There's no way you should have the honour to host a playoff game. But I'm excited to see Bryce Young in the postseason. Hopefully, he can put on a bit of a clinic. It's kind of playing for his career right now. So fingers crossed he can provide something.
It's almost like they don't even have to win for him to get like confidence instilled in him from the Panthers organization and the fans and just the NFL as a whole. He needs to just show something.
Just give him something.
This is a great Rams team, the best offense in the league, a really good defense, smart coach in Sean McVay. Like you're coming up against one of the best, potentially the MVP quarterback in Matt Stafford.
100%.
Bryce Young, just show us something.
And 100%. And the Rams are in a bit of a slump as well. Since that Seattle loss has kind of knocked them sideways. They ended up losing to the Falcons, had a tough game against the Cardinals. They ended up kicking it out a bit, but like the Cardinals had them on the ropes for a while. That defense doesn't look great. The front four's elite and then it drops off rapidly. That DB play is awful, which could benefit the Panthers a bit, but yeah, we'll see. It's just funny to look at it and think the best 2 teams in the NFC South were probably the teams that finished 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, at least the 2 teams in the best form.
100%. What Saints ended up finishing? They ended up with 6 wins, but I think they won 4 out of their last 5.
Yeah, so 6-11.
Yep,
finish.
and then Falcons won their last 5.
Yeah, they won the last 5 in a row. Didn't save Raheem Morris from getting fired, but
no.
Yeah, crazy that they missed out in the playoffs because they lost to the Jets. So if they won against the Jets, they'd be sitting they'd be having a home final right now, and Raheem Morris would still have a job.
Yep, crazy. How are you losing to the Jets? Bro, crazy. Didn't even have this written down, but how insane is it the Jets didn't get a single interception this entire year?
That's hard to do.
How do you bring in a defensive-minded coach who had an elite year with Detroit, and then your defense gets 10 times worse and can't even get a single interception? Not even a tipped ball.
No, nothing.
Like, nothing.
Nothing.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? That is awful.
Are they dodging interceptions? And they had Sauce Gardner for half the season. So, like, what are we doing here? They had one of the best corners in the league. Obviously traded him, but still, like, every team gets an interception somehow.
You just need one. That literally means a quarterback just pretty much had the perfect quarterback rating going up against him. That's an MVP year. That's crazy. Just stats against the Jets.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we
They
doing?
are a joke.
Yeah,
and
they are
oh
a
my
joke.
God, if I was obviously they've got pick 2. If I'm Dante Moore out of Oregon, I'm staying in college because I'm not risking. I'm not risking ruining my career by going to the Jets.
Yeah,
they should just banish him.
We've seen it.
Crazy.
Happens every time. Geno Smith made a career after leaving the Jets. Obviously, we're seeing it with Sam Darnold.
Just wait on my boy Zach Wilson. Have trust. Have trust in Zach Wilson. We still believe.
Crazy. So obviously a lot of fallout after week 18.
Yes, sir.
One of the biggest questions we got: who is the MVP of the league? It is definitely a 2-horse race. Matt Stafford v Drake May. Matt Stafford's the favorite right now.
Yep.
Who's your pick?
Last week I actually said I still have Matt Stafford, and I think I told a lie. I think after that loss, I think I shifted myself to Drake May.
Okay.
And I said on the pod, I still think Stafford, but then after it, I just went over it a bit, and I'm like, no, I actually think I don't give a shit about this strength of schedule. You're only as good as who you can play. And Drake May has been flawless all year. He's the best deep pass thrower in the league by length of the straight. I reckon he's had an incredible year, and he's just making stuff look easy. I think Stafford has kind of dropped off these last few weeks.
Well, he did throw like 4 tutties in the last
100%,
game.
but he's also throwing picks as well. He's turning the ball over. And when you do it against the Cardinals, that's fine, but when you do it against a Seattle, doesn't work out. Do it against the Falcons even. Doesn't work out for you. So, yeah, you do it against a 3-14 Arizona team. I don't think it's the end of the world, but you do it against a subpar team, let alone a playoff team. It's going to hurt your chances. And Drake May has taken care of the ball all year and has been just rock solid. Like, actually, no, better than rock solid. He's been a superstar and has elevated this team. I don't care who they've been playing. He has dominated every game. So I don't think you can take into account this last week where, yes, Stafford ends up throwing a heap of tutties. Drake May, the game was over by halftime and they just rested him. So it's like, you don't expect him to do anything crazy. I don't think you can take the last game into consideration. So I don't think it makes sense that he can go from the favourite and then after the last game of the season, which literally means nothing, he drops off again. So my pick is Drake May.
I think if I could pick one, it's Drake May. For a second-year player, the way he's doing this is crazy. It's actually insane. And he leads in a lot of categories, basically apart from passing touchdowns. But Stafford leads that by a bit. Like he has 46 on the season, which is insane.
Yeah, but it does make a difference when you got Puka and Devontae Adams. And what does Drake May have? Keyshawn Booty.
Yeah, no, that is true. But it's literally like Rams have the best offense in the league. Patriots have the second best. Yeah. So obviously, like it matches up that these two quarterbacks are our MVP candidates. 100%. Patriots get the second seed overall in the AFC. Rams get the fifth in the NFC. Stafford, I feel like Stafford will get it because just the longevity of his career. He's never really been in the MVP talks, and this is the season where he can finally get it. Like Lamar, Burrow, Mahomes, Allen all have like kind of off years. So I feel like Stafford's going to win it, but if I could pick, I think I would go Drake May. Just what he's done in his second year. He didn't even start all of his first year. He's played a year and a half of football in the NFL, which is insane. And this team, what he's taken him to, him and Vrabel, the first year with your head coach.
Crazy.
Like Stafford, how long has he been coached by McVay? 6, 7, 8 years now?
Yep.
So, yeah. I think Stafford will win it, but my pick is Drake May.
100%. It'll be good for Stafford, and it stacks the resume for him, helps him with these Hall of Fame case. But I just think like Drake May has done more than enough to deserve it. And yeah, you're talking about he's got the second best offense in the league. Well, I'm telling you, that's not because of the people around him.
Yeah.
Like obviously he's got Josh McDaniels, who is a heck of an offensive coordinator. But this is Drake May elevating this team. Like you're talking about a receiving core that is very subpar, and he's making it look quite elite right now.
Right, so, Cam Newton calling him a game manager.
Right, Cam Newton just got to shut up. All right? Holy shit, Barry. You're out of the league now. All right, let's pipe down. Let's pipe down on these quarterbacks. There's a reason that they're game managers for their team, and you ain't anymore. All right?
He's doing what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. We're in the same boat right now, except I'd jump on a ball in the Super Bowl. But no, I'm kidding. But like, yeah, no. Like, in what way is Drake May a game manager? He's literally elevating this team. He's taken this team from picking top 3 to one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like,
it's actually insane, and they're a realistic chance to compete and win the Super Bowl, which is crazy with a second-year quarterback. Crazy. Moving on to Coach of the Year. I think it's a 4-horse race now that the season's wrapped up. I think it's between Mike Vrabel, Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, and Liam Cohen. Ooh. So obviously Vrabel, Patriots, first year with them, just transformed this team. Ben Johnson with the Bears who were terrible last year, and a lot of that was from coaching. This guy's just completely changed the offense. Second seed in the NFC, which is insane. Crazy. Won that division. Mike McDonald, they're probably the best team in football, the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. And who would have thought they would be the best team with Sam Darnold first year, being their quarterback. And then Liam Cohen. Just transformed. They won 3-4 wins last year. Yeah. Liam Cohen comes and they win the division, and they're the third seed in the AFC. So, 3 out of the 4 are first year coaches. Mike McDonald, he's only in his second year. Yep. Who's your pick?
Well, my pick,
or is it someone else?
No, so I think it has to be out of those 4. I think Kyle Shanahan kind of lost himself the Coach of the Year award with the loss in the last round. But my pick, I've picked someone. I don't think they will actually win it, but he's my Coach of the Year, is Mike McDonald. Okay. Like, they were, firstly coming into the year, they were the third favourite to win their division, in like their own division. So they had San Fran and the Rams over him. You're talking about he's just gone and won the best division in football, and he's the number 1 team in the NFC. His defense is one of the best running around, and he's also like he's literally just elevated this team to the highest level. Yep. But because he's not a first year coach, he's not getting the recognition like these other coaches are. And I'll be like, we'll keep banging on this drum. If this guy was an offensive mind, they'd literally be calling him a genius, because he's already he's about to achieve more than what like a Kevin O'Connell has achieved. Like, I know Kevin O'Connell's been to the playoffs twice now, yet to win a game. Mike McDonald, first time in the playoffs, but he got number 1 seed already. And like this guy, I just think that the way he's just transformed this team, they had some rough years where they were just average, and he's just come in straight away, set this defense on fire. He put on an absolute coaching masterclass against the best offensive coach in the league and one of the best offenses in the league, and kept him to 3 points. Held him to 3 points. Yeah, like, this guy's a genius. I think he truly deserves the Coach of the Year award. I don't think it will go to him. I think Ben Johnson will get it because he's taken one of the biggest franchises we know, massive market, and taken to the playoffs for the first time in years, and they get a home playoff game, which is crazy. Not knocking anyone what they're doing right now, but I think Mike McDonald is my Coach of the Year.
I think all of them are deserving.
100%.
Honestly, I would probably go Mike McDonald as well. I think so many times the coach, it's never the best team. It's always like someone else. Who the hell? I didn't have Seattle making the playoffs. A lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
I thought at least they might get a wild card spot, but to win the division in the same conference as the Niners and the Rams, bro, what are we doing? Second year coach. No, I think he's definitely well deserving of Coach of the Year. I think Liam Cohen he could be a fat chance.
100%, yeah.
Just with the way, like what he's done with the Jags team. But then also Vrabel. I reckon it's going to be, I think probably Vrabel or Ben Johnson will get it, just with that, like, Patriots, Bears, both of them have just completely changed. See, I reckon it would be more Johnson Cohen, just because Vrabel has already got a Coach of the Year under his belt. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for those coaches that are like first time ever being a head coach. Yep.
But that's the thing. I'm right with you. There is not a wrong answer.
No.
All of these guys have done a super job and have been super impressive and turned these franchises around. So hats off to all of them.
Hats off.
Yeah, literally, I think Ben Johnson will get it, but my pick is Mike McDonald. I think he's going way too under the radar right now. But
Love it.
I'm keen. This is the first time it's been really open in a while. Like, this is...
Well, speaking of the good coaches,
tough.
Should we touch on the bad coaches?
Jeez, I think there's more bad coaches than good coaches
A lot
right
of
now.
firings. Do you
Holy
want to go through them?
100%. So pretty much hours after their game, Falcons fire Raheem Morris and GM Terry Fontino, I think his name is.
That's what you get for drafting a rookie QB right as they signed Kirk Cousins to a 4-year,
$80 million, I think, and
deal
pretty much all fully guaranteed, just months apart from each other. So that is probably well deserved. When you get eliminated from the playoffs pretty much a month before the playoffs start, it's probably well deserved when you had some expectations. Browns fired Kevin Stefanski, which I think a lot of fans are split on. A lot of Browns fans love him, a lot of Browns fans don't. So I think it was the right call, though. I think they're ready for a fresh start. Raiders, as we expected, fired Pete Carroll. I didn't like the hire from the get-go. Didn't really fit their timeline, and I'm not really surprised this is how it played out. And then the Cardinals also fired Jonathan Gannon. So he had a rough time with the Cardinals. I actually thought he wasn't there for as many years as he was, but I think he had 3 years and just a rough record. So it's probably deserved. It wasn't a great run for Jonathan Gannon, and the defense didn't come on like we expected when he's a defensive-minded coach. So he'll be a good coordinator if someone can pick him up.
Yeah, he'll get a job.
Like a lot of these guys, but it's going to be interesting. And then plus, obviously, the Giants and Titans fired their coaches halfway through the year. We're still waiting to hear on, I think Mike McDaniels will keep his job. I think he's done enough back into the year to show that you get rid of Tua, this team can kind of operate pretty well. So if they get the quarterback right, I think this can flip around, and Todd Bowles will definitely be on the hot seat. Losing that division, especially to Carolina, 3-way tie with the Falcons and Panthers. Lost they lost their last...
They lost 7 out of 8, and then they won that last game.
Yep.
So,
not ideal. So he could be on the hot seat for sure. Bengals have said they're keeping Zach Taylor. So
I respect it. I respect it. He took them to a Super Bowl, and since then they have not had a healthy Joe Burrow.
And since then they haven't been... No, they've been to the playoffs once. They've missed the playoffs the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So you're
Joe
telling
Burrow's
me...
been out every season, bro. Like, he's always out.
Yeah, and other teams just manage. Other teams just manage to get stuff done. I'm sorry, I just don't...
When you don't have your QB, it is pretty difficult.
Yeah, but he's had him for a lot of it. Like, I know he's missed some time, but still, I guess that you can... It's like a Pat Will situation. You can just be subpar and just keep your job in these leagues somehow. The only thing I do understand by them keeping him is I don't think it's a great coaching carousel this year. I don't think there's some elite... Like, if there was a Ben Johnson this year, I think they would be very happy to move off him.
Sure. Last year was stacked. Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, and Mike Vrabel. Like, that's
stacked.
And then the year before, there was like Jim Harbaugh and Mike McDonald. Like, that's insane.
100%.
Not the same merry-go-round this year. And like, the best candidate's probably Kevin Stefanski. And it's not like the Bengals are going to go get a rival head coach who's in their same division. So...
But then I think they'd be better off going after like a defensive guy. I think that this is probably one of the better years for defensive coordinators going around. Like, did you want me to list some potentials? Broncos DC Vance Joseph is on the market. That's Chargers DC Jesse Minter. He's done a great job as well. And Rams DC Chris Shula. So there's a lot of good defensive coordinators kind of running around.
Robert Saleh
at this point. Oh, and sorry, forgot to mention Robert Saleh as well. And then Oh, and then Packers DC Jeff Hafley as well. So there's some freaking good defensive coordinators, and I think like the offense is fine for the Bengals. The offense is fine. Go get someone that can fix up that defense, because they're not going to pay much on the defensive end anyways. But defensive coaches can just turn it around.
But that's the thing. I think Zach Taylor is not on a lot of money probably, like compared to most coaches, and 100%. Bengals don't. They don't spend.
They're so
They
cheap.
just don't spend. So I feel like let's just avoid the cost of firing a coach and having to pay him out instead, and then hiring a good coach. I just think they're too cheap.
Look at what the winning formula is. You pay to win. Chiefs are paying to win.
You know, Bengals don't.
Yeah, and they don't win.
They don't even pay for people to remove the snow out of their stadium.
It's crazy.
Right, that's a given.
The Eagles just won the Super Bowl by paying to win. They pay high quality players. They back end those contracts so they can keep them all at once. Like, you got to pay to win, and the Bengals are just too cheap to even be in that ballpark. But they got to, like, I thought Robert Saleh would have been a good pickup for him, but obviously they're staying with Zach Taylor. I think that's a problem because I don't think much will change unless you get a fully healthy Joe Burrow. But then still, what's the ceiling with that defense? So I don't know. I think Bengals are just in shambles.
They're keeping Zach Taylor. Teams that will need a new head coach.
Oh, yeah.
I think probably Kevin Stefanski's the best coach on the market. And I reckon the Giants and the Raiders, I reckon they'll be after him. Like, imagine, like, Raiders, they'll draft Mendoza for sure.
Yep.
Pairing Mendoza with an offensive mind like Stefanski, do not mind that at all.
Yeah.
Do not mind that at all. Even though Stefanski, did have a quarterback carousel of his own at Cleveland, had like 12 QBs over his tenure, and never really made it work. But the Giants, Jackson Dart, pairing Jackson Dart with a coach like Kevin Stefanski, I could see that.
100%. I was really keen if freaking, what's it called? If the Steelers got done, I was really keen about the potential of Mike Tomlin heading to like maybe the Giants or something and getting them back on track. They just need something. They just need some sort of identity. Same with the Raiders probably. They just need an identity. They just need someone that can just get them on track.
Get Pete Carroll on the Giants.
Fucking hell.
Do you think that's Pete Carroll done?
Pete Carroll has to be done.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's touching him now.
No, you probably
It's
can't.
like, bro, you're 75. You've had a tremendous career. Just park it up. Just kick back. But then that's the tough part. These blokes just love football. Football. Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, they just love football. They just want to coach forever, which is so respectable. But I think we're heading into a world now where we're going younger. And I think teams want their coaches to possibly be around for the long haul, which just isn't realistic. But
Bro, the Raiders, they were in the market for a Ben Johnson and a Sam Darnold last year. Instead, they got a Pete Carroll and a Geno Smith. That's you couldn't be happy. Could not be happy.
No, not
Tom Brady's got a lot of work to do.
100%. So yeah, obviously teams that need a new head coach: Giants, Titans, Falcons, Browns, Raiders, and Cardinals.
Who do you want the Titans to go after?
I'm actually not too sure right now. I wouldn't be opposed to us going and getting a defensive guy if we nail an offensive coordinator. But if we can't bring in a really good offensive coordinator, then I'd want an offensive guy that can just keep Cam Ward on track and just progress him, because he is the key piece. We can't have him fizzle out. So I know it's kind of outdated, but I'd be happy with a Mike McCarthy. I don't know if I want to go get a bloke that hasn't been a head coach before at the offensive position.
Yeah, no, I get that.
We just did it with Brian Callahan, and that was the biggest mess ever. I would hate to see this team go on a offensive coordinator again, and it just obviously goes to the shit. I want a guy that can just control my guy, Cam Ward.
I got a shout for you. What about Brian Dable for the Titans?
Oh, well, he's a guy I would love as an offensive coordinator. Don't want him as my head coach.
Yeah, okay.
But like, if he's on the market for an OC, I would give him big money. I would give him a lot of money to come be our offense coordinator. I thought the same if Mike McDaniels got fired.
Yep.
I would want him in a heartbeat. But I think Mike McCarthy, I think he's a good coach. We saw it with the Cowboys. 3 consecutive years of 12 wins? Bro, I'd take the Titans to win, just be above 500 or be like 8 and 9 at least. I just want to see some progression with this team.
Yep.
So Kevin Stefanski probably wouldn't be terrible, but still, I don't know. I'm not that high on Kevin Stefanski. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a great year for coaches, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So it's going to be interesting. There's also Joe Brady running around for the Bills, but I don't know if he's anything special. He's been working with Josh Allen for the last few years, and it still feels like that offense, it's either Josh Allen or bust. So I don't know if he's just a product of having a really good quarterback or if he's actually a good-minded head coach. It's hard to...
Yeah, you're not going to have a Josh Allen in any other team.
100%. Cam Ward.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shall we move into the Super Bowl bubble?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Super Bowl bubble.
Fire away, young sir.
Sweet. So Benny's Super Bowl bubble, Benny's Super Bowl profile. So You can't win the Super Bowl unless you're top 10 in offense and defense, or you're top 5 in offense and top 15 in defense. So there are currently, out of the playoff teams, there are 5 teams who can win the Super Bowl right now. They have a Super Bowl profile.
Damn.
Okay. So first we've got the Rams. They're first in offense and 10th in defense. So their defense has actually dropped off a little bit since the last time we did this. But you got the best offense in the league. It's an offensively driven league. So
Yes, sir.
Rams are there. The Seahawks. Now this team probably have the best profile in the league. 3rd in offense, 1st in defense.
Holy crap.
Yep. So they're now the top dog in defense. They weren't the top dog last time we did this. And they're 3rd in offense, which is insane.
Jesus.
Yeah, crazy. Then we have the Patriots.
Yes, sir.
Okay, they're 2nd in offense and 4th in defense.
They're that
okay, so
high
they're
in
top
defense,
5 in both, which is pretty crazy.
That's impressive.
For a second-year QB to have the second best offense in the league and with limited weapons. Rookie running back in Travion Henderson. That's insane. Now I was surprised to see this. The Buffalo Bills, they have a Super Bowl profile. They are 4th in offense and 12th in defense.
Okay, so they're top 5 and then top 15. Yep.
But we've seen Chiefs with a similar profile.
Yep.
When they've won Super Bowls in the past. So yeah, not a top 10 defense, but they have moved into that top 15, which has been their issue all year.
Yep.
And now the last team, the Jaguars.
Yeah,
the Jacksonville Jaguars, they are 6th in offense and 8th in defense. So top 10 in both. So they have a really good profile as well. So notable omissions there. No Broncos.
Yeah.
It's because they have the 14th best offense. So they have the 3rd best defense, but they don't have a top 5 offense.
But they've got the 3rd best
defense, but only 14th best offense.
So it doesn't work the other way around.
No, you have to. If you're not top 10 in both, you have to have a top 5 offense.
Yep.
It's an offensively driven league, and then a top 15 defense.
Okay.
They're the wrong way around. So the defense is really good, but Bo Nix at QB, he has his moments, but I just don't think when push comes to shove. You even saw in the last game against the Chargers in week 18, he just gets...
Oh, I'm not...
His O-line's pretty good. He got sacked 4 times in that game, but I don't know. I just don't think they're going to move the pill as well in the playoffs.
It's really dependent on him because the defense is going to rock up, but it's can your quarterback get your ball, get your players the ball? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. So. I'm not as high on the Broncos. Fair.
When you look at these other teams in the playoffs, you got the Steelers. They're 15th in offense, 17th in defense.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so nowhere near it.
What are the Panthers looking like?
Sorry?
What are the Panthers looking like?
The Panthers, it is awful. 27th in offense, 15th in defense. Yeah.
Oh, that's just a playoff team.
So they're hosting the Rams, who are 1st in offense and 10th in defense, which is just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
We got the Texans, so this isn't surprising. They're 13th in offense, 2nd in defense, so it's a really good defense. Yeah. And then the Chargers, 20th in offense and 9th in defense. Yep. So not
they're
too
just
great
so
of a
banged
profile.
up, man. They're so banged up.
Yeah, and then we have the Bears, 9th in offense, 23rd in defense.
Yep.
Eagles, 19th in offense, 5th in defense, and then the 49ers, they're 10th in offense and 13th in defense. So they're hovering.
Okay, they're 13th in defense.
13th in defense.
Really?
Yep. And then the Packers, 16th in offense, 11th in defense. So they're, with a lot of their injuries, they were a top defensive team for most of the year. Yep. Obviously, Micah goes down, but they got a lot of injuries, the Packers. So it is interesting. So right now, there is 5 teams, 2 from the NFC, 3 from the AFC. So really, Matt Stafford, Sam Darnold, Drake May, Josh Allen, or Trevor Lawrence are most likely winning the Super Bowl this year.
Damn.
Crazy.
That's actually crazy. I'm not ruling out those Texans, though. If anyone's going to defy those odds, I think it's going to be them Texans.
I know, and it's only the 13th best offense, so it's not terrible.
Yeah, it's growing because it was rough at the start of the year, so it's growing. But
CJ Stroud, when he gets protection, he's moving the ball. He is moving those chains.
He's a dime dropper. Anyway. Him and Drake May just have the most effortless deep ball. It's just beautiful. I could watch it all day.
It's stunning.
I like it. There we are. So Seattle are definitely front runners for the Super Bowl right now, by the sounds of it, which we love. That's got me excited. Boy, a lot of good stuff there.
Should we go into the playoff matchups?
100%.
Preview? Yeah.
Let's dive in. Let's dive in 100%. So we'll touch on the games for each slate so far. We'll also touch on the handicaps as well. So the plus minuses for what Sportsbet is looking like right now, okay? Do we want to start off with the Sunday slate games? 8:30 a.m. Rams at Panthers. Current line right now, 10.5. Rams are favoured.
Rams
in
are favored
Carolina.
10.5 points over the Panthers.
Hosting a
at
playoff
the
game.
Panthers. That is insane. Considering the Panthers beat the Rams this year.
100%.
But we were just talking about each team's profile, which is crazy. It is the first best offense versus the 27th.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. Matt Stafford versus Bryce Young.
But it's just one game.
Yeah.
It's just one game.
It's one game now. I'm picking the Rams to win, but I'm taking the Panthers plus 10.5. So I think it'll be less than that.
Yep.
But no, Rams, I think their offense is too stacked. You got Kieran Williams, you got Puka Nacua. Devontae. Was Devontae Adams
I'm not
back?
sure. I actually don't know if Devontae will be playing or not.
Okay.
I guess we'll see. If they're going to rest him for a game, you can probably rest him for this one.
Yeah,
but you never know. It's one game, so it's going to be interesting. But I am the same. I think Rams will win, but I'm taking 10.5. I think that is just, like, I'm taking Panthers plus 10.5. I think that is just a crazy spread for a team that is hosting a home playoff game, especially a team that's beaten them.
Yep.
And I think matchup-wise, I actually think their big body receivers can do a bit of damage on those really small DBs for the Rams. So I think it will be closer than people expect. So, but I still have the Rams taken out, but 10.5 is a crazy line.
Yeah, that's massive.
100%. And then we got the 12 p.m. slate on Sunday. Packers at Bears. Packers favored at minus 0.5.
Yeah, I can't believe this that the Packers are favored. Like they split the games in the regular season. Ben Johnson had his notable interview. I love how it's Packers v Bears because Ben Johnson had his notable interview when he got hired by the Bears. I've enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year, which we love. So it's a division rival in the playoffs, first round. A lot of pressure on the Bears. Like the Packers, they're beat up. The Bears, it's at home. First playoff game in a number of years. Caleb Williams, it's his first playoff game. It's probably all the pressure is on the Bears and the Packers. Like, there's definitely pressure on the Packers. Like, if they don't win this, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Matt LaFleur. I think that'd be stupid to fire him, but there is talks.
If they fire him, Titans will just grab that man rapidly.
Any team, he'll be the number one coaching candidate straight away, which is insane. But I don't know. Is Jordan Love going to be back?
I think he will.
I assume he is, considering the spread. Like that's insane.
You'd expect so.
No, I'm picking the Bears. I'm picking the Bears. So I think it'll be a close one. Close division game. It'll be cold. But no, give me the Bears. Give me Caleb Williams. I think he's going to have a really good showcase in his first playoff game. And I'm just loving the way Ben Johnson's using him on offense.
100%. I'm taking the Bears as well. I think Ben Johnson's built for the big moments. I think he's going to call a game and a half. And that's the thing. You don't need the Bears defense to be a lead all game, but if they can just come up like they've done all year, just a couple of big turnovers just to flip the game, he could blow it right out. So, and Packers are just so beat up right now. I can't believe that line. I can't believe they're favored right now in Chicago. So,
is there an injury we don't know about or something?
I have no idea. Does Sportsbet know something we don't know about? But holy shit, give me Bears plus 0.5 points. Monday slate, 5 a.m. game, Bills at Jaguars. Bills are favored right now at minus 1.5.
Yeah.
What are you taking?
And I'm surprised by that. That is definitely a Josh Allen spread right there. Like if it's Trevor Lawrence v Josh Allen, the best player in the league, he is obviously moving the market single-handedly.
Oh yeah.
So we spoke about it just then. They're both in the Super Bowl bubble. So this is two good teams and one of them's going to be out just like that. Honestly, like Jags, they won 7 in a row, 8 in a row.
8 in
They
a row,
won their
I
last
think.
8, which is insane. They won the division. Liam Cohen's got Trevor Lawrence playing career best football.
Got an average winning margin of like 17 in those games.
But hey, it changes in the playoffs, and Josh Allen has way more playoff experience than Trevor Lawrence. Look, I like the Jacksonville defense. Obviously, they're a top 10 defense. Bills are knocking on the door in defensively, and that's been their issue all year.
Yep.
But I think if the defense somewhere holds up, Bills wise, and you get Josh Allen gets protection and does his thing. I think the Bills will come home with the dub, so I'm picking the Bills. I know it's so easy just to underestimate this Jags team, and Trevor Lawrence, but no, I'm Josh Allen. He's got to take his opportunity while Mahomes, Lamar, Joe Burrow aren't in the playoffs. Get this guy his first round win. I'm picking the Bills.
100%. I'm right there with you as well. I think ours are going to be very similar, but I'm taking him minus 1.5 as well. Like, bro, it's Josh Allen. Can anyone actually picture this guy being a first round exit? And as much as I don't know if Sean McDermott's the greatest coach going around, but they've been there before. They've been to the playoffs year after year. Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, first time together going to it. They're still a pretty young team. I think it could be a lot for him, and I think Josh Allen's built for those moments. So give me the Bills as well, minus 1.5. Moving on to the 8:30 a.m. game, 49ers at Eagles. Eagles favored right now at minus 4.5. in Philly. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a bigger spread than I thought. I thought it'd be closer, honestly. Mm-hmm. Two really good teams. The Eagles, I just do not like how their offense fluctuates so much. One half they'll look like the best offense in the league, and the next it's like, where the hell's Saquon? Where the hell's AJ Brown? What is going on? Jalen Hurts, why can't you throw the ball?
They just forget. I literally think they all just lose their ability to perform at any level.
And that's the thing, because it's not the first time we've seen it. We saw it 2 years ago when they lost to the Bucks in the playoffs. They were the best team in the league, and then their last 2 months of football, they were shit. Then they shit the bed in the playoffs against the Bucks. And then they were the best team in the league by a country mile last year. So I don't know. They're not instilling me in confidence, and I have the previous Super Bowl winner going out in the first round to the 49ers. I've got faith in my man Brock Purdy. He's going to move those chains. Ricky Pearsall's looking like an all-pro right now. It's actually insane.
If they can just stay healthy.
And CMC, the way he's moving, played every game this year, which is crazy. I think we know now that next year he's probably not going to play a game.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
Brock Purdy, CMC, they're getting their guys back. George Kittle will be back.
Yep.
Give me 100%. The 49ers.
100%. With that spread, I'm taking the 49ers for sure. I expect them to win the game, but even if they're going to lose, there's no way I can see Eagles beating them by more than 4.5 points. Like, they're not getting up by that much. So if Eagles somehow do win, I think it'll be a field goal max, because I just think the San Fran offense will just put points up on the board, and that's going to be something. Can the Eagles stay with them? Obviously, their defense is very elite, and we saw that actually be an issue for the Niners against Seahawks, but still, I just think the Eagles just do not instill confidence in me whatsoever. Like you said, it's very interesting to watch. It's an ugly game to watch. You're talking about a team that is a lot of fun to watch in the Niners, and then the Eagles, I don't think I've ever hated watching football so much than when I'm watching them, especially because it's so frustrating. There's so much talent. You got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith on the side, and then we also just have one of the best running backs we've seen in a while, and none of them are getting used. And Jalen Hurts is a very frustrating quarterback right now. So, 100%. 4.5 is massive. I'm taking the Niners all day for that.
Yeah, when you look at the Eagles' weapons, like you just mentioned, Brown, Smith, Barkley, and they almost have a bottom 10 offense.
Crazy. And Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert's having a breakout year for him as well. He's never had that many touchdowns in a season, and it's still just shit.
I know, but their top 5 defense is just 100%. Carrying him to this, and the fact that they're in probably the worst division.
Yeah.
For the across the whole league. So
crazy.
No, so we're both going Niners. 100%. Have we had a different one?
No, I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. Coming in at the 12 p.m. game, Chargers at Patriots. Patriots currently favoured at -3.5. What are your thoughts on that? Okay, so
I'm picking the Patriots to win, but I think I'm taking Chargers in the points. So Chargers +3.5. I think Patriots will win by a field goal. I think this will be a big defensive game. So Patriots are the second best offense, but the Chargers, they have a top 10 defense. Not a lot of teams get a lot of points on them. It'll be, Patriots don't have a great offensive line. A lot of pressures Drake May has received all year. So I think this defense will definitely smother the Patriots at points in this game. But got faith in my man Drake May. I feel like the Chargers are too beat up. It's at the Patriots. Mike Vrabel v Jim Harbaugh. I love this. Who would have thought 2 years ago we'd have Patriots Chargers and it's Jim Harbaugh v Mike Vrabel. I love that. Look, if anyone can get this playoff dub, it's Justin Herbert. But he hasn't won a playoff game yet in his career, has he? He plays well. He just he lost to the Texans last year.
Had a couple of bad picks.
Yeah, had a couple of bad picks. So no, I'm picking the 2 seed. Patriots.
100%. But you're taking Chargers with the points.
Taking Chargers with the points.
100%. Well, that's me as well. I've got Chargers +3.5, but I've got Patriots to win.
Bro, have we had one difference?
No, I'm trying to, but we these are crazy. I think if you brought it down to a 2.5, I'm taking the Patriots, but +3.5 is a lot against a Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert led team.
Yeah, fact.
I'm just losing people money if I'm saying I'm taking the Patriots.
We've lost people money. We've never gotten a bet right.
No, 100%. So don't listen to us. But I can't switch it up. This is just what am I meant to do here?
I don't know. Maybe just have an original thought.
This is crazy. I put my list before you.
That's hilarious. We should have exchanged lists.
100%. Okay. Tuesday slate, last game of the wild card round. Texans at Steelers. Texans favored at -3.5 right now. What are your thoughts?
I am taking Texans in the points. Texans -3.5.
Bro. Oh my God. Yeah, I am the same. Texans minus. I just think this is going to be a bloodbath, and I think it could get ugly very quickly for a near non-walking Aaron Rodgers in that pocket.
Yeah.
Like, I think the pressures that you're going to get from Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson on the edges is going to be absolutely insane, and they've got some of the best DB play in the league.
Yeah.
DK is going to have to step up massively, which I don't know if he's capable of. I think this could get very ugly very quickly.
I think this will be a bloodbath.
This will be a defensive masterclass.
Yeah,
That's the only thing. I'm kind of happy the Steelers made the playoffs over the Ravens, but we would have had a much better matchup if
it's the 15th best offense in the Steelers versus the second best defense in the Texans. So, I think this will be a bloodbath. It'll just be interesting to see how the Texans move the ball, but the Steelers, they're not even a top 15 defense. No. Thank God DK Metcalf's coming back for the Steelers, but no. Honestly, it'd be a great story if Rodgers somehow takes this team, gets in the playoff.
Crazy.
Who the hell would have thought that would happen?
It would earn Mike Tomlin another 20 years as Steelers head coach as well.
Since we've been watching football, we've never seen Mike Tomlin have one playoff win. Yeah. So I'm gonna back history in.
Yeah.
Man, his last playoff win was 2016 or something?
Was it even that? I feel like it was longer ago.
2016 or 2017.
Okay.
Which is insane. So
that's madness.
This is what they do. They get a winning record and they're happy with it, and then
they shit the bed.
They shit the bed in the playoffs. So
100%.
Give me the Texans for sure.
Yeah, all day. Texans as well. That could get ugly very quickly. Should we move on to our NFL playoff bracket?
Let's do
it. How
it.
do we like it? How do we like it? Do you want to start with the NFC and then move over to the AFC, or do it round by round for both?
No. Let's do one division
so, first. NFC first, okay? Wild card round.
So, obviously, we said the wild card round. So, I've got we're doing NFC?
Yeah, NFC.
So, I've got the Bears beating the Packers. Mm-hmm. I've got the Niners beating the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And I've got the Rams beating the Panthers.
Yep. Okay.
Do you want me to just do my whole one, then you do your whole one?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, sweet. So, that gives us, in the second round, we've got the Niners at the Seahawks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, in that game, I've got the Seahawks winning. We saw what they did to them last week. Mm-hmm. I think the Seahawks will, beat the Niners.
Yep.
And then we got the Rams at the Bears, which will be an insane game. I love this matchup. Caleb Williams v. Matt Stafford, Ben Johnson v. Sean McVay. Probably the two
future v president.
Two of the top three coach offensive masterminds. Like you put Kyle Shanahan in there as well. I am taking the playoff experience and the Rams in this game.
Yep.
Okay. So that leaves us with the Rams at the Seahawks in the third round in the conference championship. Who's winning the NFC? I'm taking the Rams.
Oh, boy.
I'm taking the Rams. So Seahawks obviously won a few weeks ago, but that was a miracle. They had 3 2-point conversions, crazy turnovers, crazy just touchdowns to finish off that game. I'm packing Matt Stafford to beat Sam Darnold. It would be a miracle if the Seahawks make the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold's first year. That would be insane. The Vikings would just be kicking themselves. So from an NFC perspective, I have the Rams making the Super Bowl.
I like. That's not bad. We have very similar.
Yep,
very similar. The NFC is a tough one, but wild card round, I have Rams beating Panthers in Carolina.
Yep.
And I've got the 49ers beating the Eagles as well in Philly. And then Bears v Packers, I've got the Bears beating the Packers, 100%. So we move over to the divisional round, got Seahawks against Niners at Seattle. I have Seahawks obviously beating the Niners again. I hate that matchup for San Fran. And I also have the Rams beating the Bears in Chicago. So I have Seattle v Rams conference championship matchup.
Surprise.
But I'm swinging over to Seattle.
Okay.
I've got the Seahawks going. The last 3 times Seattle has won the NFC, it's been make Super Bowl, win Super Bowl, make Super Bowl. And here they are again, the number 1 seed in the NFC. Those boys are going to the Super Bowl. I've got full trust. Best defense in the league right there. Seattle in the Super Bowl, representing the NFC.
That would be insane if Sam Darnold, a Jets QB, a Carolina Panthers QB, couldn't do it. Went to the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell just reinvents himself. Reinvents Sam Darnold, and now he's
now he's playing in the Super Bowl for a different team.
That'd be crazy. Okay, let's move on to the AFC.
Yes,
so obviously, I had the Texans beating the Steelers. Yep. I had the Bills beating the Jags, and I had the Patriots beating the Chargers. So that gives us in the second round. I have the Bills at the Broncos.
Yep.
Which I take the Bills. I'm saying Broncos are out in the first game.
Yep.
Broncos, see you later. Josh Allen would beat Bo Nix. Yeah, and Sean Payton is going to be a very angry boy.
Oh, yeah. Very
And
nutty.
then I've got Texans at Patriots, which I would love to see a Bills-Patriots conference championship,
Yep.
but I'm taking the Texans. I think their defense will just be so insane. And the way Jay's looking at me, I think he's got the exact same thing. I thought that would be a curveball. I for sure thought you were going to be riding this Drake May train.
This is ridiculous.
Anyway, so I've got... so that gives me Bills at Texans.
Yep.
In the AFC Conference Championship, and I've got the Bills.
Ooh,
I have got
baby.
Josh Allen making the Super Bowl. Okay, I do. I have full faith in this team. Now seeing that their defense is actually way better than it was earlier in the season, they got one of the best offenses in the league. Josh Allen, my man, is making the Super Bowl this year.
Love it.
Book
love
it.
Book it.
And he
Book
should
it.
be MVP.
Book it. Book it. Yeah, love it. Ooh, I don't know about got carried away there. Got very carried away there. Moving on to the AFC on my bracket as well. I have the Texans beating the Steelers, like I said. Bills beating the Jaguars and Patriots beating the Chargers. Moving over to the divisional round, I also have the Broncos being a first game exit for them. I'm getting flashbacks of the Titans getting the 1 seed and losing to the Bengals. This is happening all over again for the Broncos. They're going to go up against an elite quarterback and sadly get done in Denver. Bills beat Broncos, and then I've also got the Texans taking care of the Patriots. I think that defense is legit, and I think the offense isn't as bad as we think. I think it's getting better and better. So that leaves me with a conference championship of Texans v Bills. However, I've got the Texans taking out the Bills in Houston. The Texans are representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. Bam. So that gives me a Seahawks v Texans Super Bowl. And what do you have?
The Texans Super Bowl. I have the Rams versus the Bills. So we have a completely different Super Bowl matchup, which we love.
We had nearly
love
the
some
exact
variation.
same bracket, but we finished with a completely different Super Bowl
We had
matchup.
different conference championship winners.
That's what we
Okay,
like.
so do you want me to go my Super Bowl winner?
You hit us.
So I have Rams v the Bills. And I am saying in 2026, the Buffalo Bills are beating the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl, and Josh Allen will be crowned the Super Bowl MVP, get his first Super Bowl, and his name will be, in history. And he will finally get his Super Bowl, and he won't have to go through Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And no, I've got full confidence in this team. I've got full confidence. Josh Allen is the best remaining player in the league in the playoffs. This guy's getting it done this year.
I love it.
This guy's getting it done.
I love it. I love it. My Super Bowl, obviously, I got Seahawks v Texans, and I have the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl this year. I think there is pretty much no gap between those defenses, but I have much more trust in the Seahawks offense. So I've got the Seahawks taking out the dub against Houston in the Super Bowl. Who would have thought at the start of the year I'd be saying Seattle v Houston in the Super Bowl? Wouldn't have picked me saying that. But I think these are two elite squads. I think defense wins championships, and these are the best two defenses going around, and they're going to get their teams into a Super Bowl.
Recently hasn't won championships. It hasn't. You have to have a top 5 offense.
Yeah.
You have to have a top 5 offense.
What were Eagles' offense last year?
They were
Top 10.
Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
What are the Chiefs the year before? Probably a top 10 defense. Year before, probably a top 10 defense.
No, they weren't. That was the thing. They weren't.
But their defense was better than their offense.
No. I don't know which year, but when I was looking up this Super Bowl bubble, a lot of the time they had a top 5 offense and then it was only a top 15 defense.
I'm just looking back at the past few years. Chiefs had an elite defense. Eagles had an elite defense. Rams had an elite defense. Buccaneers had an elite defense. You need good quarterback
But
play.
they also had Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford,
100%. Yeah,
Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown.
Skipped over Jalen Hurts.
What? No.
No, yeah, but then I also have full trust in these two coaches as well. I think these teams are the future right
So
here.
you think it's going to be D'Amico Ryans v Mike McDonald?
Bro, it's going to be a
Super
defensive
Bowl.
battle.
I feel like Texans have a win in them in this round in the playoffs, but their offense isn't good enough to get them past the Bills. So
No, fair.
No,
It's
I
going to be
respect
interesting.
it. I
Gonna be
respect it.
interesting.
That's a crazy playoff matchup you have.
100%. It's going to be pretty intense.
Okay, well, shall we move from that to our King of the Hill?
100%. Got our King of the Hill coach to quarterback edition. Okay, starting off with CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans taking on Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers. Who would you take?
CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans for
Perfect.
sure.
Love it. And then we got CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans taking on Bo Nix and Sean Payton.
Give me CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans.
Damn, they're still going. CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans take Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson.
Ooh, that's tough. Give me Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson.
Okay.
For sure.
Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson take on Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh.
Give me Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh for sure. They're going to be tough to beat.
Love Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh take on Bryce Young and Dan Canales.
Ooh. Isn't it Dave Canales?
I mean, Dave Canales.
Yeah, give me Jimmy and Justin.
Love
for
it.
sure.
Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh take on Sam Darnold and Mike McDonald, my Super Bowl pick.
Damn, that's tough. I think I still need to go Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh.
Love it.
Hey, that's potential coach of the year and
100%.
Sam Darnold, straight baller.
Who knows? Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh take on Drake May and Mike Vrabel.
Damn.
It could be the MVP and coach of the year right there.
This season, give me Drake May and Mike Vrabel.
Damn.
Give me them.
Damn, there we are.
Drake May's my MVP.
Love it. Drake May and Mike Vrabel take on Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, no, I'm staying with Drake May and
Love
Mike
it.
Vrabel.
Love it. Drake May and Mike Vrabel take on Matt Stafford and Sean McVay.
Damn. That is incredibly tough. I think I've got to switch to Matt Stafford and Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean McVay probably top 2 offensive coach in the league, and Matt Stafford, he could be winning the MVP. He probably will. So.
Love it. Matt Stafford and Sean McVay take on Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen.
Bro, Liam Cohen's got Trevor Lawrence playing his best ball he's ever played. However, I'll stick with Matt Stafford and Sean McVay.
100%. Matt Stafford and Sean McVay take on Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni.
No, I'm staying with Matt Stafford and Sean McVay.
It's gross just looking at that. God damn. Matt Stafford and Sean McVay take on Josh Allen and Sean McDermott.
See, Josh Allen, best player in the league, but I think the difference between Sean McVay and Sean McDermott is quite large. I
100%.
think.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
so. I'll stick with Matt Stafford and Sean McVay.
Love it. And then lastly, Matt Stafford and Sean McVay take on Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan.
I love these guys. I love Brock Purdy. He is like one of my favorite players in the league, and Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, he's one of the best offensive coaches as well. The fact that they're even in this position is insane. The fact that they were playing for the division and the conference in the last game of the season with the amount of injuries they've had is just insane.
Yes, sir.
However, I think I need to stick with Matt Stafford and Sean McVay. Just that coach quarterback.
Probably the best in the league.
They've already won a Super Bowl, and Matt Stafford's had a career best year in what he's definitely in the tail end of his career, which is insane.
For sure.
No, I'm sticking with the Rams.
Love it. There we are. So in the playoffs, Matt Stafford and Sean McVay, the best quarterback to coach ratio right there. Bam. I think they're probably the best in the league apart from when Mahomes and Andy Reid are firing.
Yeah,
I think they're 100%. Love it. Done well. Matt Stafford and Sean McVay take the dub.
Yeah.
Love that. Good stuff. Should we move over? Obviously, we're talking about the highs and stuff, but should we move over to some of the most disappointing teams this year?
Yeah, there was a few.
Because there's been a few.
There have
been a few, and let me know if I'm missing any. I think I've hit the mark on all of them, but got a few here. I pretty much just got 8 teams that have been really disappointing this year, and I think all had playoff expectations, really. Starting off, obviously the main one ended up with a 6-11 record, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think, look, it doesn't help when your quarterback goes down, but shit was going down before that anyways. Stuff was going very sour.
They were a play, like that drive, if they didn't score, they would have been eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah.
So they had Pat Mahomes for 99% of the season when they were in contention. So they had a mare of a year.
Mare of a year. Just nothing went right. The defense just wasn't as good as it usually was. Chris Jones took a bit of a down year. Kelsey actually ended up having a pretty solid year, but it wasn't like he is. He's aging, obviously, but he still had a pretty solid year, but had some costly drops. And then Mahomes was like at the start having like statistically one of his better years. He was swinging the rock around. It looked good. Rashee Rice came back and the offense was flying, but things just weren't working out. The games they were winning last year and the years before, those close-knit games, they were losing them this time.
They
the
lost
Jags, the Broncos,
the Texans, the Cowboys, the Chargers, like the games they won last year, they just simply didn't, and that's why last year everyone thought they were frauds, and then they were exposed in the Super Bowl. But this year they couldn't even get over the line in the regular season. Absolutely
insane. Another team I've got there. NFC Conference Championship game last year, all the way to picking, I think, 5th, is the Washington Commanders.
Who would have thought?
Wait, are
Fall
they
from
picking
grace,
5th?
bro.
Where are they picking? Sorry, they're picking 7th, but still not great. And they went from this like young up-and-coming team to all of a sudden the oldest team in the league.
Yep.
And then Jaden Daniels has been hurt. Things just don't look great. He just couldn't stay on the park. Would injured, come back, get injured, come back. It just fall from grace for him after such a high last year where kind of similar to the Bears this year, everything was going their way. They were just making these historic plays, and then this year it's just been a major drop-off. So
one season in the NFL is a long time, and 22nd offense this year, 27th in defense. Like, as you said, conference final last year, bro. What the hell? Everyone was saying Jaden Daniels was a top 5 QB. And he wouldn't even be on anyone's top 10 list.
Hell no.
It's crazy.
Hell no. Next up, start of the year there wasn't much expectation. But when you're flying in the number 1 seed in the AFC, there's some expectation, and the Colts a fall from grace. You can say Danny Dimes got injured, wasn't great, but you traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner, expected this was your year and you're going all in, and to fumble it like you did, to somehow 3 weeks left in the season, you're going and calling up Phillip Rivers.
Yep.
Not a great sign. No, 4 weeks was it?
4 weeks, yeah.
4 weeks. Not a great sign.
They lost their last 8 games.
Ridiculous.
So, I thought, Shane Steichen, there's a chance he won't be there, which is insane. Everyone was saying, bro, 2 months ago, you were a Coach of the Year candidate.
Yeah. Literally, we were looking at Coach of the Year candidate and Shane Steichen, and either come back and one. He was in MVP talks at a certain moment, but comeback player of the year for sure in Danny Dimes, and it just dropped off. Jonathan Taylor went from having an historic season and was in the MVP talks as well to really dropping off towards the back end of the year. Everything just fell apart. Even defensively, they fell apart. So really disappointing end of the year. Who would have thought they weren't winning that division halfway through?
I know.
100%.
It's insane.
Next up, I know it was just a field goal, but you still missed the playoffs, is the Baltimore Ravens. All year, it just wasn't their year. Things weren't going well. Defensively, they were abysmal for majority of the season. Lamar couldn't stay on the park. John Harbaugh, a lot of questions being asked about him. He could also really be in the hot seat.
Yeah,
these next few days will really be important for them. And even just the use of, you've got one of the best running backs going around, and just the lack of use for him in moments were just crazy.
Yep, so, my fantasy team felt it all year, bro.
They did indeed. So the Ravens, very disappointing season. You should be a playoff team, should have won that division quite comfortably, considering the Bengals had an awful year, the Browns still suck, and the Steelers are just mid. And somehow you fell to that level, which is quite disappointing.
Real.
Next up, the Detroit Lions. You actually picked it that they weren't going to make the playoffs. I thought you were ridiculous. I still only had them as a 7 seed, but I was like, they'll make the playoffs.
Who would have thought?
Benj was on it.
You lose both coordinators.
100%.
And, hey, that is not easy to overcome. No, it's not.
Not at all.
Dan Gamble tried. He's like, give me the play calling, bro. My OC sucks, dick.
He sucks.
And he tried.
Really.
He tried.
He did.
Just didn't work out. And they were almost there. They had a better record than Panthers, who are hosting a playoff game right now.
100%, Bob.
And look, they beat the Bears in the last game. They showed they were thereabouts.
Yep.
It's a tough league,
wasn't as good, and injuries just derailed the hell out of him. It felt like every game you watched, there was about 6 blokes going down on the defensive end. It just, a lot of things went poorly. The O-line didn't hold up as much as it could have, especially in important moments. So Jared Goff was under duress in some really big games, which didn't help. But just disappointing. But it's tough. Their division is super difficult. So you have a few missed games, it's going to cost you heavily. So you plug them in any other division, they're probably in a playoff game right now. But going up against high-quality teams. Next up, team from their division as well, the Minnesota Vikings. And it's not just that you had a bad year, but you're seeing your quarterback that you had in your house. He was in your house. Going and leading the Seattle Seahawks to the number 1 seed in the NFC. And you've got 9. You got JJ 9 McCarthy. And look, he started to play better ball as it went on.
I know, he's a genuine meme. And Sam Darnold is... I feel bad for him. JJ, he's definitely not had the opportunity still. He's had the opportunity, but not much.
No.
We're seeing these QBacks... Caleb Williams last year, he didn't have a great year. And now we're seeing the returns from this year with a good OC. So Kevin O'Connell was only his first year with JJ McCarthy, and he was in and out with injuries. I don't think he had a stretch with more than 3 or 4 games in a row, which is crazy for a rookie.
I think it shows how good of a coach Kevin O'Connell is and how good Brian Flores is on the defensive end, that they managed to get to 9-8 with JJ McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and Max Brosma as their quarterbacks. That's
insane.
Who else is doing that?
In the best division in football.
Who else is doing that? That's when I kind of bring up how disappointing it can be for a team like the Bengals.
Yeah.
You're not... You win 6 games, and it's you had Joe Burrow for a lot of it.
And when you didn't, you had
Joe Flacco was swinging it around, and it's even the Ravens, I know you need to manage. You need to be able to manage because some of these teams actually can get to a winning record with just terrible quarterback play all year. So hats off to them for doing that, but still very disappointing because you went from a playoff team, the 5th seed last year, to missing the playoffs this season.
Love it.
Next up, the Buccaneers.
Yeah, the Bucs.
You're in the worst division in football, and you lost to the freaking Carolina Panthers. And I know you beat them in the last round, but you still lost to them a few weeks beforehand. You should not be in that position, especially when you started. Was it 6-1?
Bro, they look like one of the best teams in the league, and they lost 7 of 8. They lost 7 of their last 9. And yeah, it just wasn't quite happening for them. They've won the division the last 3 years, so they've done a hell of a job to be the top of that division. It's just... like what? 2 months into the season, they were running away with the division.
Bro, doesn't feel that long ago that we were hearing MVP chance for Baker Mayfield. It was a real thing, and he was balling out and playing some of the best football of his career, and then just a fall from grace for him. So I don't know if it was coaching, I don't know if it was injuries, it may have just been a mix of all of it, but very disappointing.
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Bucky Irving were all out for the majority of the year, 100%. So there wasn't much offensive consistency there.
No.
Emeka Ibuka looked like he was going to run away with the offensive rookie of the year, and he just fell off a cliff as well.
100%.
So
disappointing.
I don't think Todd Bowles should be fired though, but definitely disappointing.
I don't think this year, since there's not a great hire out there, I don't think.
How many teams we got left, by the way?
We got one team left.
One team left.
Okay. Am I missing some? Do you reckon?
Oh, you're missing plenty, but it was
I don't want to
consider disappointing.
100%. Yeah, well, that's the thing. My last one is the Cincinnati Bengals because I think every year that they miss out on the playoffs, that just becomes more and more disappointing. When you are paying 3 guys majority of your salary, you better be winning football games. You better be taking charge, and they better be producing. And you've got probably the best wide receiver in the league, the best wide receiver 2 in the league, and a top 5 quarterback in the league. You got to make that happen. And going 6-11 is just not cutting it. I know they've had injuries as well, but we've just touched on so many teams have been beat up. Look what the Niners have just done. They were missing Brock Purdy for majority of the year. They don't have a single starter pretty much on their defensive end, and they nearly won their division and got the number 1 seed in the NFC. So you got to make stuff happen. I know injuries are a bitch, but it happens. Injuries are in sport, and when you're a team like that, you got to make moves to make it happen, especially when you're in a pretty poor division as well right now. So, and
they did have a chance. Like the 100%. Division winner only won 9 games, 100%. So it's 3 games here and there, and you'd be in the playoffs.
And they've just got an ability to an addiction to starting slow in a season, and then they're always playing catch up. And then Joe Burrow came back, and they still lost key games they should have won. I think they lost. Did they lose to the Browns?
Yeah,
at the end. You can't be losing games like that when your season are on the line. So I know there's injuries, but that's not. You can't use that as an excuse every year. So, bam, that's my 8 most disappointing teams this year.
So no Tennessee Titans, who you picked to win the division.
I don't think anyone else thinks they're a disappointing team. When you got Brian Callahan coaching your football team,
no, that's fair enough.
I think 3 wins, you'll take it.
Wait, did you have the Falcons?
No, I didn't end up having the Falcons.
The Falcons should definitely be on
they probably should be in there. I know, I didn't want to make it too many. Yeah. But the Falcons should be in there. It's just like they did end up winning 8 games. But then, I just think you get them a really good coach or a good coach, and I don't know what their answer is at quarterback yet, but that team could turn around really quickly.
It's just you look at their offense, and they had a bottom 10 offense rating, and it's when you have Bijan, you have Drake London, you have Kyle Pitts.
Arguably the best back in the league. Drake London's an elite receiver. Kyle Pitts really started to show what he can do when he gets used.
He was a tight end too. That's 100%. Insane.
Yeah, and their defense is good. Their defense is really good, and for some reason it just didn't work out this year.
Crazy.
So they could definitely be in there as well. Anyone else? I didn't think the Cowboys were disappointing. I actually thought they nearly exceeded expectations.
Honestly, I was happy. When you trade your best player before the season starts, and we had one of the best defenses, one of the worst defenses in the league, which is expected, and we had one of the best offenses in the league. Schottenheimer, he showed he's an offensive coach, 100%. And our offense was humming all year, so we just need to tighten up defensively. I want us to go for an edge in the offseason. I'd love us to go for Max Crosby so bad.
You get Max Crosby and you've got Quinn Williams there already. That could be a scary front.
And there was a period there where Philly weren't playing so well. We were playing well. We beat the Chiefs, and I was like, okay, we're still a chance for the division here.
Yep.
Just dropped off. When we lost to the Vikings, that's when we were cooked. But look, no, I was happy with the season to get 7 wins. We should have beaten the Packers that one time. We had some really good moments in the season. It's just when you trade your best player, what expectation is there? I thought Dak, he's a Pro Bowler this year. He's a top 5 QB. Just a baller.
You win 10-11 games, and he's probably favoured for the MVP right now. I thought he had an elite season, and just a lot of good came out of it, like George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, CeeDee probably had a bit of a down year for him, but still 2 elite receivers. Javonte Williams, holy pickup. Just an elite back. And we've known he's had all this talent, but just hasn't been able to stay healthy and then get back on track. That was awesome. And then, the defensive talent obviously isn't fully there, but hopefully you get a new DC.
Yep.
And then I think there's growth there. I think the Cowboys aren't in as bad of a spot as people think. And you've got picks behind you as well now. So I think it's exciting times for Cowboys fans. I think we've seen things can turn around very quickly in the NFL world, and then you never know.
You never know. But we'll come back next season. We'll come back next season bigger and better.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, we actually finished with the worst defense in the league.
That's crazy. We
were worse than the Jets, who didn't get a pick all year.
That is actually crazy. You know who could also nearly be in there? The Raiders. They had somewhat expectations heading into this year, bringing in Geno and Pete Carroll. People actually thought they were going to string some games together. For them to end the year with the number 1 pick, and really, you had 2 wins all year. You end up beating the Chiefs at the end, but that worked out for the Chiefs because now they have a better pick, and it didn't end up mattering for their first pick. They were abysmal.
Well, they had the worst offense in the league. They just couldn't move the ball ever. No. They hardly scored. They were no offensive threat at all.
Pay a whole lot of money for Chip Kelly, and that was just a disaster.
And it goes down again.
I think we lost LeBron, man.
Damn, we were so close.
Is everything else still standing?
No, you're good.
Sorry, just knocking stuff left, right, and center.
You're good.
Mayhem. But they're probably disappointing as well. But there we are. So that's my most disappointing teams this year. Let me know what you think about that. You
guys drop your most disappointing teams 100%. In the comments.
Yes, sir.
Is that all we got for today? I think that's us. Sweet. So, excited as to see who wins the playoffs this weekend. You guys, on any of our clips, any of our posts on this YouTube video, on this Spotify episode, drop your predictions, your playoff predictions, your MVP pick, your Coach of the Year pick.
Yes, sir.
You guys let us know. We want to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
But that is Football Wednesday wrapped. If you're listening on Spotify, hit that follow button. It pushes the pod out to more NFL fans, more sport fans. Genuinely helps us keep going.
100%. Like Benny just said, chuck your predictions in the comments or the Spotify Q&A. Upsets, bold calls, whatever you've got, we'll react to them.
And follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts for daily NFL clips. Appreciate you, Dribblers. See you next Wednesday. Lots of love.
We out.